Presented by Starbucks.
The day that I was legally allowed to work, my 15th birthday. I don't think I've taken a day off since. My name is Jordan Kahn, and we're here at Red Medicine in Los Angeles, California. Red Medicine is another way of saying Eastern medicine, which is a practice of healing through natural means, so roots, herbs, and plants. And so we sort of treat people's hunger through the same philosophy. Well, I first got really serious about cooking when I was 13 years old. For Christmas, my mom got me a copy of the French Laundry Cookbook. I had no idea what it was, and I was reading these terms and these techniques and these ingredients, things that were so foreign to me. I grew up in Savannah, you know, like we didn't have foie gras. And so I just became obsessed to the point where like I would get in trouble in class for reading. I'd have like my math book up like this, and then I'd have the French Laundry Cookbook reading about how to make torchon or consommé or whatever. My teacher would say, I need to see you after class. Afterwards, he's like, I'm trying to roast this chicken, and it's not quite turning out right. And like, they would all ask me for like cooking advice. Red Medicine is a restaurant that is fun and relaxed and stripped down. I knew that I always wanted to have my own restaurant since I was very young. My background is fine dining. We wanted to keep a lot of those core values. The menu is dictated by our local environment. I would say we call it new naturalist cuisine. We actually do all of our own foraging ourselves for wild herbs and plants. Another person we're working with is a biodynamic farmer. Basically, the idea is in the wild, things just grow, they die, and then they come back. There's an ecosystem that's been created there, and it's self-sustaining. So biodynamic farming is effectively creating your own self-sustaining ecosystem to the point where you don't have to take care of your farm, it takes care of itself. Because we have a dairy forager now. I'm a big fan of modern art. And all those things make a big impact in the final dish in terms of complexity and nuances. In terms of innovation, we definitely try to push ourselves in a direction of utilizing creativity to best express our own selves and our own vision. Food on a plate is not just enough for us. It has to obviously taste delicious. It obviously has to look beautiful and appetizing, but we definitely like to look at an ingredient in its natural state and see something a little unique about it and try to extrapolate on that idea. Probably our newest dish on the menu at the moment is a salad of a bunch of different vegetables that are anthocyanins, which basically is the color of red and purple. It's meant to be mostly a dish of like some raw and a little bit of cooked vegetables, and you've got this neutral cream base to kind of bring everything together. I'd say right now a big seller is a dessert that's called the Redwood Ice. We actually make like a shaved ice out of redwood leaves. And the base of the dish has a few different red currant elements, and then I filled most of the bowl with a meringue flavored with orange blossom, but instead of using a mixer to whip the meringue, we use a fish tank pump, and it develops these really large bubbles, and so it almost looks like a bubble bath. The way that the presentation is, it's very playful and people have a lot of fun eating it, and generally when you see one go out to the dining room, then you get an order for like 8 more. We use brisket at the restaurant, beef brisket, and we cooked an entire brisket. And I started pulling it apart, and I started seeing these very long muscle fibers growing all in the same direction. So this is what we're after. I thought that the look was very interesting and started playing with it and twisted it. And so we took that, chilled it, glazed it with fermented tea, baked it in the oven, and it looks almost like a fallen log. But when you eat it, it's pulled brisket. I mean, it just falls apart. Fall is a wonderful time, obviously, for mushrooms. We're gonna start to see little bits of wild radish pop up, some wood sorrel. The key to staying relevant, I am probably the worst person to ask about that. I have no idea what goes on outside these walls. I don't like a lot of external influences. For people that are foodies, it should be a fun place for them to come and sort of discuss. A lot of the dishes are sort of conversation pieces, you know, so what we're doing here is something that's unique and special and really interesting. It's like, we're going to this restaurant because it's exciting. The food is gonna teach us a lot of things or show us a lot of things we haven't had before.